Hey, I'm Decathlon Gamer. Welcome back to FM24 Youth Factory. This is episode 18. We continue on with our season. We're about a quarter way into it now. And we begin with big news, but it's the same news we've been seeing for about 3 seasons now within the game, within the series, dating back into the FM23 days. Takeover. Chairperson wanting to step aside. That's been going on a good 3 years. But the message has always been the same. Chairperson looking to step aside. Recently, last couple of weeks, it's not normal to have them with this level of frequency, but in the last couple of weeks, there's been at least one message a week of that same old variety. And I saw that second one just a week after that first one and was like, that's unusual. I'm used to seeing these messages every 2 months or so for a good 3 years straight. And then every once in a while it'll disappear. I'll go 3-4 months without a message. And then it pops up again. And then generally every 2 months or so. But now, in roughly just over 2 weeks, this is my third message. And this one's different than all of the others. We have a name. We have an evaluation for the first time. Frontrunner for the job appears to be director Ellis McConnell, who could be prepared to pay around $14 million to gain a controlling stake in the club. Haven't seen anything like that before. Could be on for the first time. How could that change things for us? I would suspect it wouldn't change things much unless we saw our finances wiped clean and we had a board who wasn't interested in developing the club and just cashing out. It could bring changes. We have a transfer ban for over 100 years. That's not going to change with new ownership. Though I do suppose Todd Boehly certainly thought that new ownership meant that everything from the previous few years no longer was relevant and he could just play by his own rules and use a loophole to exploit everything and make the worst, most expensive club ever. That's what Todd Boehly did, so I suppose there is an exception. But we're not at that level. And our money doesn't influence the league to that extent. We're not that corrupt. We're not going to get away with anything. So we're going to have to play by the rules, and we'll see if the rules have changed at all with the board. I would suspect if I were to ask the board right now for new training facilities, which it's been a couple of years since we had new training facilities, and that's all been because of the stadium, and now that the stadium is happening, and now that it's been a little while since that was confirmed, I'm ready. I was on the verge. I almost did it last episode, and I was like, no, I'll do it next episode. Now we're into next episode, and suddenly we have this messaging. So I would imagine if I were to ask right now, I'd probably have no. And something about potential takeover as a reaon why it's a no. So I have to wait a little bit. At the same time, it's almost like, well, maybe we ask now before they leave. But no, I have a feeling that it would be a flat no. They're not going to spend money before they leave. Going through this with my own hometown club, Portland Thorns. Going through an ownership change, a deal that was supposed to be finished in October of 23. And then in October, it was announced that it would be finished in December of 23. And New Year's has come and went, and it's January of 24, and the deal's not yet done. We know who, we have a rough number, but still no deal. And at the same time, every single expiring contract we had on the team, which was a lot, we're now 2 weeks into the renewal period, and other teams, one after another, announcement comes out. We've had zero, not one announcement, and we've lost 4 or 5 players already, and we've got a lot of expired contracts, free agents out there at the moment, and it's scaring the crap out of me. And I have no idea if it's because of the delay on the sale and whether it's going to put us into a rebuilding kind of year, or just haven't announced it. The league's they refuse to allow teams to announce anything until they've confirmed, and they've been confirming things with the holiday season really slow. The last 2 weeks we've had multiple holidays and a lot of days off. Office is closed, and so there's only been so many announcements. Chomping at the bit in the meantime. For most lower league football fans, you're going to be well familiar with Hayes and Yetting. They spent plenty of time in the National League and then in the 6th tier. But in recent times, they've found things a bit difficult, had multiple relegations, dropped down a bit. But they did climb back up. And we saw them last year. They just got relegated. We went up, they went down. So we went from the same tier to, well, 2 tiers apart, 3, depending on how you want to do your math on that one. But Hayes and Yetting are no longer going to have a viable roster. It should be an easy entry match into the FA Cup. It's their first and probably only match of the season that we would potentially see them in. And we're at home, so this is going to be a very favorable matchup, but also a very good opportunity to take a chance on some youth, which actually that's the entire roster, but with such a gap between the teams, it can easily be a day that's difficult to fire the team up. But we've got all 11 fired up for this match. Hayes and Yetting, just a generic 4-4-2 from them now. We'll see what we can do, because we are putting a little pressure on ourselves in this one with a lot of changes to the squad. But I do have some starters available on the bench if necessary. We won't use too many of them. We're going to try to give them the day off if we can perform. So far, they are doing pretty well. Primus on the pitch. Jones out on that left wing. Kamara gets a start at left back. Moreland does have a start here today. There's a loss, and let's see, we're not quite linking things together at the moment. We're in the 5th minute, by the way. Nice, Kamara. Thornhill does get the start. Adekunle is playing on top for Davidson. Davidson, the most fatigued player that we had, and Adekunle scores, but the flag is raised. First goal is already counted out. Now played 7 minutes. Mortland wins that header. He's dominating. He's bossing that midfield at the moment. Ball over the top. That's a chance. Koulibaly gets a start in goal. Rossini gets a start at right back. It's the first time I've selected him, though I think he came off the bench maybe once earlier this season. Kitching gets the start today, but Webb starting alongside him. Nice cross there. Good interception from Koulibaly. Kamara we've seen plenty of. Primus we've seen a bit of in that defensive midfield. Definitely a further off in the distance backup. But Mortland obviously is a normal guy, but Baker gets the start. That's one of our U18 players that we brought up as a new option at winger. Remember, start of the season, I expanded the senior squad roster by 1. Jallo looked offside there, but no flag raised. And we trail. Boy, we were looking pretty well in control. Even Raymond was suspect off that. Nope. Kamara played him on. Jallo was behind the defense, as I suspected, but Kamara was level with him and kept him on. Work to do. Those subs might be necessary. That did take a deflection? Okay. We have some capable players. Jones plays a lot. Oh, that was close. Thornhill's obviously a regular starter. Mortland's a regular starter. Kitching's a regular starter. So we got, 4 regular starters? One of them out of position. But we do have the majority of possession by a wide margin. The shots are already favoring us. Kamara. Decent pass there, Moreland. Jones, now Thornhill, nice run. Little 1-2. Gets the chance. Wastes the chance. Really poor attempt there. Okay, second half gets underway. Changes will come if we don't start dominating this game. Kamara gives that one away. We'll definitely start with the attacking players. Only 2 shots on target for us despite many, many attempts. Another cross intercepted by Koulibaly. We're giving away a few too many. Flag was raised there, though. But play on the signal given by the ref. Thornhill switching play. Kamara, lots of space there. Gives it away yet again. Kamara, guy we've seen a lot of. He's intercepting well, but his passes have been poor. Sets up Baker well on that opportunity, though, and Baker gets it on target, but no power behind it. Adekunle really go far post. He does. No hassle out there, so we can't count on those center back goals. That hassle's been scoring in lots of this season. Nice interception from Baker. He's playing well. Mortland. Jones. Oh, should have had Kamara on the overlap, but went back for the safe pass instead. Primus. Baker beats his man into the box. Switches to Jones. Scores level. Kamara is tired and has been really poor passing-wise. We'll go ahead and bring on McFadden. That clearance all the way up to Jones. He loses it, but we win it back. Adekunle finds Baker. Baker uses the space. Crosses again to Jones. Almost had a back-to-back there. Momentum has been ours for all but the moment of the goal. Thornhill to Jones. Turner gets a foot in. Catches Jones. No call. Ball trails through. McFadden gets it back. Jones. Thornhill. Close range with power. Looked onside to me. Didn't even look that close. There it is again, the cross, and Jones, his third of the season, his second of the game. He's on a brace, and we lead. Hasn't taken long once we've opened those floodgates. That water's flowing. The goals, they're flowing. It's been all us. They have not had a shot in the half. Again, Jones looking for the hat trick of headers. Let's keep the pressure on a little bit longer. Okay, that's the little bit longer. We'll go positive. That's Adekunle. Oh, that's in the back of the net. I thought it hit the back side of the net off the signage board, but that was in. Is that upper corner? It was. Boone comes across, hits the post. That hurts. Been there, done that. That hurts. Primus in the midfield. Adekunle out to Jones out wide. Cuts back in. Adekunle tipped away by Boone. That was very nearly the fourth. Things starting to look comfortable after a poor early stretch. I'd love to see Jones get that third, especially with the head. Far post. Rossini. Jones. Over the top. Jones had a chance at that third. Stoppage time. We've got this game wrapped up, but closer than we were hoping for. Despite it, really, realistically, it was comfortable, but they were in the game for a little bit there. 3-1 the final. That was the fourth and final qualifying round. We'll be in first round proper here pretty soon. As we climb those divisions, it pushes us further and further deeper into the tournament from the get-go. Baker's going to be out for over a month with a twisted ankle, though. That hurts on the backup side, but like I said, he's an extra winger that we brought on. We still have our other two guys in Wilkinson, Kasunga Mutombo, and I think we should be fine as long as nobody else picks up any injuries in the meantime, but even then, we've got some U18s we can bring along. Well, I went on vacation for a couple weeks to get through a few games a little bit faster, and this happened. Youth Factory FC takeover completed. It has finally happened. It's taken 3 years, but we finally have a deal. It is the aforementioned Ellis McConnell. Our first message from the new director is there are no plans to provide the club with any investment at this stage, and of course the standard thank you for your patience. Club vision remains unchanged in the recent term, but the long term, the 5-year plan, is finally showing up again. And this was something I pointed out a number of episodes ago, 3 to 4 episodes ago during the summer, recognizing that, oh, wait a second, there isn't a 5-year plan, or at least not a full year plan. There was a short term, and that was it. We're finally getting that. end of the 2031-32 developed the best youth system in the country. They are focused on actually making us best in the country and in the world, and get automatic promotion to League 2, League 1. Fantastic. I mean, they're recognizing what we have and the strength of it and want it to be the best. So that's great news for us. They immediately offered a new contract, which is worth pennies. We started with nothing at the beginning of this. We were making like $100. We're up to $7,500 a year. We're a National League side, and the manager's making $7,000 a year. Like our youth players are making more than that. I'm not the only staff member though on something similar. There's still a few staff members left from the amateur and or semi-pro days that are making under 10K a year. Pretty pitiful for a professional club to be paying players that, but it is, or paying staff that. It is what it is. Saves club money, I guess. Last episode we finished with a 2-0 loss to Woking. We followed that up with a 3-0 win at Scunthorpe, off camera, Fleetwood 3-1, Macclesfield 3-0 on the road. And Macclesfield's a decent team. Ben Hassel, stoppage time for that third goal. He's getting so many of those. Stevenage 5-1 on the road. And then that Hayes and Yetting match that you just saw, 3-1. That's actually a poor match compared to how we've been playing lately. It was really poor compared to how we've been playing. But with 7 changes to the side and one of the 4 starters out of position, no surprise that we didn't perform as well. But Aldershot 4-0 at home following that. And again with a late extra goal, but we were comfortable and in control early and throughout. Dulwich Hamlet 3-1. And then a road game at a decent Cheltenham side with a 3-2 victory. And for them, it was a consolation goal late. Otherwise, it was 3-1. They got the early lead on that one, and we did not have our best of days rating-wise. You can see there's a few 6s in there, but most everybody mid-7s show how we controlled the game throughout. But not our greatest performance, but it was a road performance against a decent side. So as we move into November, the league has become favorable. A lot more favorable than before. Sam Julian, second in the league in shutouts. Adekunle still leading in assists and has doubled up from where we checked in last time. Average rating, Lanahan Penrith is now re-emerging as that strong player in the league who's the reigning player of the season in the tier below. Davidson now also climbing the charts in the goals. He's got 10 in the league already. We find ourselves plus 24, leading the league. Chelmsford finally falling off their high horse that they started the season on, where they had that incredible run. They lost 3 in a row and fell from first down to playoff zone, currently 4th, and have lost another actually. So they've only won 1 game in between. They've lost 4 of their last 5. So they were 8-1-0 earlier on. Southend United though, and us, finding ourselves starting to pull ahead of the rest of the league. 2-horse race, but only 1 automatic promotion. Wouldn't that be funny if we find ourselves both over 100 points? Same sort of thing that happened last year, and the right level for the same sort of thing that happened with Wrexham and Notts County in real life last year at this level. But we're 11-1-2, and we've been rolling of late. We want to keep that momentum going, but we do have a match against Southend United coming up pretty soon, and that could change things a little bit on the direction of our season. I have dealt with a number of our contracts recently, but not quite done yet. We have our Wilkinson and Atkins who don't want to re-sign, but Penrith is still out there. We're going to want to get him on a new contract. See, he's the next one I'll want to get after, but Kasunga Matumbo and Primus are still left, but otherwise we've got everyone signed up for 2 years or more, or at least another year and a half or more. We're also getting a lot of the appropriate agreed playing times for players. We've got 4-star players, we've got important players, we've got squad and regular starter first choice kind of guys, down to prospects and youngsters, and yeah, that part for the first time, really, all series long, we're really starting to get appropriate agreed playing times, and part of that's coming down to age on a lot of these guys. But looking at how we're doing, I mean, we're still 2021, 19, 18, 17, Thornhill at 23, McFadden, Atkins, Webb, and Redknapp at 23. That's the old guard. That's the oldest players we have on the squad. Remember, this is all intake players internally, and we've only existed for so many years. So we're still pretty young. Now, we were at 6 players at 100 plus. We're still there. Adekunle has continued to grow rapidly, though, now at 122. Jones, Wilkinson, and Thornhill. We had 1 player at 99. The third player down, I think, was a 96, but now all 3 of them are at a 99. Archie Jones, Wilkinson, and Thornhill all right there on the verge of breaking that 100 mark. The 90s are all right there. And then Rossini jumping from the 70 group to an 83 already. Can and will start featuring a lot more often, especially over Kamara, who is not developing as rapidly and hasn't done much this season. 0.02 XG, 1 assist, only a 40% header win rate, only 87% passing, 0% shooting, only training okay. Meanwhile, Rossini just got his first start, 1 appearance off the bench, has already done significantly more in his training, a lot better. So yeah, Rossini could be kind of taking over the role away from Kamara fairly soon as the reserve fullback. Baker has limited capacity and is injured for the time being, but he's already eclipsed Kasungo Mutombo. But Wilkinson is one that's really come along and features a bit more often. However, Wilkinson really only 3. In terms of playing time, he's the one that's concerned, and Kasungo Mutombo, who hasn't even appeared yet, is concerned, but everybody else doing fine. We're starting to get those appearances in a little bit. This season, unlike last season, this season I'm back a little bit more often to the let's go on vacation and just let things play out kind of side, and we'll see how the league shapes up. The big clashes we definitely want to step up for, though. Training ratings, good for everyone but McFadden right now, and Baker, who's not training. It's nice to see a lot of 8+, a lot of 9s, a lot of guys that are enjoying themselves and getting better. Adekunle, 8.0 rating the last 5 games. Now, a lot of players in the high 7s, and morale is very high. We're in form, folks. We're in form. Adekunle, 5 goals, 12 assists. Even Moreland's got 3 goals and assists this season. Lanahan Penrees has 9 goals and 6 assists already. Davidson at 10 goals. No assists for him, though. Hassel has 6 goals as a center back, all from corner kicks. Archie Jones, 4 and 3, largely off the bench. 4 starts, 11 appearances off the bench for him. So in very limited time, he's grabbed 7 combined goals and assists. In terms of the other competitions, we don't enter the FA Trophy until December. But we have Grimsby Town in the first round next up. Skybet League 2. That is a huge jump. That is a difficult draw. We're going to be away for that one as well. That's going to be a big test. It's only 1 tier above us, though, and they are just 19th in League 2 while we are currently leading. So we actually really do have a chance at winning that match. We're going to have to not play the youth for that one, though, if we're going to try to see forward progress. This is a team that did yo-yo between League 1 League 2 for a number of years in this save, but they've been slowly dropping down towards the bottom end of League 2 of late, and finished 22nd last year. How did they not get relegated? Right. Let's do the math, folks. 24 teams in the league, but only 2 teams go up or down. between National League and League Two. So the team that was the last team safe is who we're going up against right now, and they're not looking much better right now. Media prediction was again 22nd. Current standings, 19th. That's a team that can be beat for sure. With the takeover complete and the finances in good enough shape, we're at $12.2 million. I think it's time to ask the board about training facilities, though, as we are making good progress, but as we climb the ladder, we need to continually be making progress, and we certainly have the finances for it at the moment. Top 10 academies in the world. We've just been recognized as the number 2 academy in the world. Star graduate Ethan McLaren, 3 additional star graduates. I don't know how we're down a spot when Liverpool's down a spot and Arsenal's new on the rankings, and I haven't seen us on the rankings previous, but there's your top 10. Man U, Chelsea, PSG, Hertha Berlin, Barcelona, Man City, Tottenham, Arsenal, us, and Liverpool, and we are the only one, obviously, that's not a top tier side, but we're working on it. Cool. So BIC has kind of helped us with this recognition. Star player now at FC Porto. By the way, it was last episode that he moved on, and I forgot to check his scouting report at the time to see where he currently stands. Leading Premier League. We're no longer scouting him, so we're going to start losing information on him as he's left our scouting area. He's still inconsistent and poor in the air, gets stuck into challenges, and doesn't adapt easily. But otherwise, relishes big matches, can play multiple positions, lighthearted. Fans love him. He's already requested to leave, or is that his old? That's got to be his old scouting report, right? We get no updates since he left. But movement off the ball makes him dangerous. But leading Premier League, so he's a great player. That's why one of the key reasons why we are near the top of the rankings for academies. We finally have players playing at a high enough level to get recognition. And our request has been approved. It's only $2.1 million. That's it. Not very expensive, but we're in good form and have played a big part in making that happen, so they're happy to grant the request. Training facility upgrade, we were at 2.5 stars. This will push us to 3. Still have a ways to go as we climb the ladder to get that up to maximum to match our youth facilities, but it's definitely a step in the right direction. That is going to do it for this episode, though. I'm Decathlon Gamer. Like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Have a good one. Be safe out there, and bye for now.